Hello everyone, I'm Heather Vitale for Harness Racing Update. The great philosopher, Dolly Parton, has said, "The way I see it, if you want the rainbow, you gotta put up with the rain." And that seems to be what's happening here in Kentucky as buyers go to consigners to look for their pot of gold at the Lexington Selected Yearling Sale. As Hurricane Helene swept through the area, horsemen and women were literally weathering the storm as they prepared for the first night of the auction on Monday, September 30th at 7 p.m. Dave, I've been doing sales videos for HRU for many years now, and I think this is the first time I've had to handle my way around a hurricane.
It was a hurricane. I've never really been through one before, but credit goes to the Phase Accepted team. They were out here working hard, and we had some trees down and a little bit of flooding and some tents blowing and whatever, but they're great people to work for, and I'm happy it came 2 days ago and not today. So it got out of the way, and looks like we're clear sailing for the rest of the week.
Last year we had a record-breaking sale. I think 12 records were broken, almost 68 million with gross. So it's getting sunnier, and maybe, that's what the sale is going to bring, a lot of sunshine.
Well, I hope so, but the market's going to be what it's going to be. It's an election year, and there's some, inflationary issues going on. But the driving force between the purse structure, as strong as ever. You got a little increase in New York, and all your jurisdictions are good. It's a little bit of a broken record. All your jurisdictions are as good or better than they have been, right from Ontario all the way down to the Midwest to Kentucky and up the East Coast. So from that point of view, very positive from that. So I'm looking forward to a good week. I'm always try to be realistic, and I think we have a lot of nice horses to offer throughout the sale and here at Preferred Equine. But I think the sale from cover to cover, it's probably the most diverse we've had. A lot of sire power, trotters and pacers, and on the trotting side you have some international pedigrees, which brings a little different flair. So the sales graduates speak for themselves. Hamiltonian, Hamiltonian Oaks. So Pace, Meadowlands Pace. So it's an industry-wide event. We look forward to it every year, and we just hope we have a good week.
Okay. And lots of Breeders' Crown winners have come from this sale as well. Countless stakes winners. So yeah. I guess we'll catch up after day one and see how that first session went.
Yeah. Well, good luck to everybody and purchasers and sellers, and hopefully have another nice day tomorrow and have a good show day and be busy, and we're ready to roll Monday night.
Thanks, Dave.
All right. You're welcome.
Casie, you're known for finding a diamond in the rough. So what is Casie's cliff notes for doing that? What are some hot tips that you can give buyers looking at yearlings?
I've always been one that goes off the individual, so I look at pretty much every pacer. There's not really a pacer in the sale that I haven't seen yet. And then I like a big ass end, a big shoulder, good throat, good conformation. I don't like toeing out, toeing in, back on the knees. I just try to find as perfect of an individual, medium size. You don't want too big, you don't want too small, sharp eye, sharp head, and a smart horse, one that I like to walk them back and forth a lot and make sure they're smart and respecting their handler. And then I go off pedigree second. Nowadays, all the pedigree's pretty good. Like here in Lexington, Kentucky, you're not really going to find a bad pedigree. So I just try to find the most perfect individual that I can find.
You're saying you've looked at every pacer here. Is that what you just said?
Pretty much. I've been through all of them now. I'm on my second and third looks now, and by the time I buy one, I've seen them quite a few times. But I like to see every pacer.
So when you go through and you're marking up your book and saying, okay, process of elimination, you ever get back to the hotel and think, I'm down to way less horses than I was hoping, and then, you know what I mean? Or are you a little less hard on a horse and have way too many when you go back to the hotel?
No, you got to be hard on them. So, and there's still, like I said, besides this sale, there's always Harrisburg also, if that comes to that. But it's very rare that you get down to not enough on your list. Usually it's too many, and then just see what the prices fall through and see what happens from there.
Talk about your schedule a little bit during the year, because you actually take the horses down to Florida and then they go to different states after you get done training them down?
Yeah, so lately, the last 2 years, I bought them here at the yearling sales, took them home to Florida, broke them, trained them down, sent the majority of them to Anthony Beaton up in Canada, and then he shipped them whichever way they're going. Andrew Harris and Linda Toscano and Tony Dinges actually had one for me, so I've just sent them to wherever I thought they fit best for where they're racing at the time. I've done that the last 2 years, and this year I haven't 100% decided. I've done all my homework, I'm looking at all the horses, but I kind of think I'm not buying this year. I may be helping Andrew out a little bit. Me and Andrew are very good friends, so he's asked me to look over a few with him, so I'm helping him look at those. And I haven't 100. Everybody says, no, you've said this forever, you're going to buy, and I really haven't decided, but I'm leaning towards not buying anymore, and just kind of helping people select them maybe.
Wow, is this an exclusive?
Well, the thing, I haven't even made up my mind yet, so everyone's asking me and everyone says that I'll end up buying something, and I might, but I'm leaning towards not buying and not training no more in the winter. So I'm sure maybe I'll buy in on some with maybe Anthony Beaton or Andrew. I'm sure I might do that, but I'm leaning towards not training at all right now. So it might be just a year thing. Maybe I just take a year off and I don't like it and come back next year, but as far as now, I like the Florida life without having to work a whole lot.
Right, I dig it. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, thanks for being on the show, and you've had a great year, by the way, so congratulations on this season.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a great run. I got to thank the team at Anthony Beaton and Andrew Harris's barn and Tony Dinges' barn that's been racing for me, and my Florida crew. It's been a fantastic season. Couldn't be any happier.
Thanks, Casie.
Thank you.
Rumor has it that you and Irv Miller were both out here literally during the hurricane. It was pouring down rain. You are dedicated looking at horses during that kind of weather.
Yeah, it's a disease. Actually, he chickened out. No, he had to go race. He said that was worse probably than me looking at the yearlings. So yeah, we were out here at 9 o'clock yesterday morning, and I stuck around till about 5:30. He had to leave around 1 to go to the track and warm up and do something. So I was tired of looking at the hotel room.
I know. Actually, the walls of a hotel room are not as nice as looking at some beautiful yearlings, right? So what are you looking for in particular at this sale?
A little bit of everything. We've concentrated more on trotters here recently. Dual eligible is obviously a key. We've had a lot of luck the last 3-4 years up in New York, so I'm looking at a lot of the New York pacers and trotters. And then kind of the dual eligibility is a big plus for some of the owners, so we'll pay maybe a little closer attention and trying to make sure we get looked at everything that's dual eligible as well. So
we've talked a lot about conformation and pedigree, but let's talk about, when a horse comes out and is being showcased in front of you, what do you like to see as far as spunkiness or a different type of attitude? What are you looking for?
it's probably the same as like when I was a kid and I went to the bar, I wanted a certain body type. It's just like something's going to catch your eye. You're looking for something to catch your eye, and like I say, and everybody has a different eye because the same thing, when you went to the bar when you were a kid, if everybody liked the blondes, there's going to be a lot of lonely and brunettes and redheads going home, so you can't, everybody doesn't have the same eye or same whatever, but if I look for the general overall horse and see what I like. Now, I know what I want to see. I don't really care if it's a large horse or a small horse per se, as long as the body type fits what I'm looking at. Then we go through and look at the conformation, and I make my grades and send to the owners based off of the body type, conformation, overall grade. And we try to get to as many farms as we can. I like seeing them out in the field. That's really a plus. The videos, that's 15 seconds of their best life. So they're a helpful tool to see how they move in that. And then I'll give a general grade, send that to the owners, look at the pedigree, and then you determine the price. So it's a whole process of steps. Start with one thing. First, you got to like the horse when it comes out. You see a little short-legged thing, I'll never win a 100-yard dash. If they pulled me out, it's like, get that ass back in there, you're done. So it's just the same with the horse. You want to see some athleticism and see something that you like, because you don't want to go to the barn every morning and find something you don't like.
How many do you think you're going to take home?
We have been gradually cutting down, and I haven't counted up the numbers of horses that I'm going to be bringing back, plus a few homebred yearlings, but I want to stay. There's 32 stalls in the barn down at Southern Oaks. Last year we had 34, which that was okay. Made my wife take care of 2, which that was kind of okay. But it's a good number, 32, because that's one barn. It works out. Get to spend a lot of individual time with the horses and still get to spend some individual time out on the river, just messing around, enjoying Florida.
Yeah, I love that. And I hope that your dedication this week is going to pay off for you.
Me too.
Thanks, John.
You're welcome.
Fred, the news is out that All-American Harnessbreds will be closing, so give me some details on that.
Not really closing, Heather. What we're doing is we are actually getting out of the breeding side of the business, okay? And we're doing that over the next 14 months. So Bev, and she has 2 other people on her staff that have decided after 30 plus years with me that they think it's time to retire. So as you well know, and your family knows, foaling mares and taking care of the mares during the winter is difficult at best. So Bev's decided that, she would like to retire. So we sat, and they actually came up with a plan. So we're selling yearlings here in Kentucky and then in Harrisburg, selling our in-foal mares and stallion seasons in Harrisburg this year. And then next year, she wants to stay and raise the weanlings. And then we've got 8 mares that are open or barren, and she's going to get those in foal, so that we will then have those for next year for both Kentucky and Harrisburg, and then sell the final mares and stallions shares in November. So it's kind of exciting, although it's bittersweet. We've had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is bittersweet, especially last year you guys were the leading consigner in average here.
Yes.
You just had a little brown jug winner, so
Right.
bittersweet. Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, so it's always best, and it's like I told Beverly when she came to me, it's best to go out on top. And she and her staff are going out on top.
I started out just as a groom and very quickly became manager because the manager that was there at the time didn't work out well. And Fred said, do it. And he taught me how to do it. So, yeah, it was pretty nice.
What are your feelings about getting into retirement? Oh my gosh, what are you going to do?
It's bittersweet. It's just mainly the foaling part. I'm just getting too old to be called into 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, that kind of thing. I'm going to stick around and raise his babies for him for another year. But I think I just want to work part-time and just relax, you know what I mean? I think I've worked hard enough in my life, I think. But.
Well, everybody get over to All-American and wish Beverly good luck at her retirement. Thanks.
Like Rob said, I'm going to have a condo on the beach or something, I don't know. But I said, are you going to buy it for me?
I think in the last 4 years, we've been a top 5 breeder in earnings with our little boutique operation. And as you say, the highest average share, I think we were second in Harrisburg. And then they go out and all you have to do is look at the wall, and you've got a Meadowlands Pace winner, and you've got, a little bit of everything up here. So you got a jug winner, which we'd never had before. So that was kind of exciting. And then, I've been fortunate enough with Noel Daly's group to be racing a filly called Buy Around, and she's been a lot of fun. So, and she's going to lead the consignment in November before the mares. So it's a good time, really. The industry is, in my time in the industry, I don't think it's ever been healthier. So it's good. And the purse structure is good, so owners can come in and buy a horse, buy a yearling, train it, and make a little money, which is really terrific. So 10 years ago, it was a struggle in some of the jurisdictions. But Kentucky's good. They've solidified everything in New Jersey. New York just passed legislation to help that. Indiana, Illinois are solid. So, we just need a little help in Pennsylvania now. And, Ontario's wonderful. So the owner really has an opportunity, and that's what's important. So, So it's nice to see owners coming around with trainers, looking at our yearlings. They've got smiles on their faces. They just, got a little purse money in their pocket, and hopefully they're going to spend it on some of our yearlings.
Yeah, definitely a good time to buy horses, without a doubt. And I hope you have a fabulous sale, and thank you for being on with HRU.
We will, and thank you very much, Heather.
Okay, a congratulations is in order. New Hall of Famer, you're going to be inducted this coming year. How does it feel?
It's a big thrill. It's really, I'm very honored and very humbled. It's really something you don't start out thinking about, and when you get the name on the ballot, you still wait and see what happens. But I'm a trustee of the Hall of Fame. It's something it means a lot to me, the Hall of Fame itself, the building. It's one of our real treasures in harness racing, and so it makes it even that much more special.
Yeah, it is a really special place. I've been to it several times, and I love going, and certainly you want everyone in the business to make at least one visit.
I'm always disappointed when I ask people, and no, I haven't been, and I said, have you been to the Meadowlands? Yeah. I said, it's an hour away. It's an hour away from the Meadowlands, and to see the historical references, the memorabilia, the statues, the figurines, the horse sculptures, the history, it's great. It's really it's something really shouldn't be missed.
Now, you have loved this sport since you were a teenager, right? Let's talk about our first few experiences.
Before then, when I was in 4th grade.
Oh, okay.
Where I grew up in Queens, excuse me, back then, Roosevelt and Yonkers were really a big part of the fabric. And everybody seemed to either own a horse, a piece of a horse, their friend had a horse, and my father and his partner, who would go to Roosevelt and Yonkers, bought a horse. Ironically, the horse they bought was a bad horse. They bought it from Billy Houghton. And it was a trotter that made breaks, and they thought some trainer was going to straighten him out, and he didn't. But his name was Sam Sanders. And many years later, when I mentioned that to Billy, he could tell me anything I wanted to know about. He knew the horse. He remembered everything. But it was ironic, and that was the start of me really. I always had a fascination with the horses, but that was the start with the racing. And then it was just a matter of I switched my numbers of knowing players' batting averages to knowing horse records. It was a little transition. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the consignment that you have for the Lexington Selected. Give me a horse that we should all be looking at.
Well, we'll start with the first session is the easiest thing to do. I'm very excited about number 70. He's an always be Mickey colt. He's a brother to a number of quality horses, including Ammo, who won a Breeders' Crown, but he's also a brother to 2 Mickeys, Always A Mickey and Maximus Mickey, who are both very successful. I've seen them all, and he's by far the nicest of all the mare's foals. I think he's probably as nice a Mickey as I've seen anywhere. He's really a beautiful colt, number 70. Really, really an exceptional colt.
All right, well, best of luck with him. And I am an Orioles fan, but I do wish you luck as a Yankees fan.
Listen, they're going to play, and what happens, happens. But it's, as I said to you before, it's an exciting playoff because anybody can win.
Yeah.
And the Yankees haven't done so good against the Orioles this year. You didn't know that, though. Of course you didn't know that.
Right. It's going to be a lot of fun. The series is going to be fun. I'm
hoping. I don't know. They haven't scheduled the games yet. The times. I know Yankees play next Saturday, which will mean I'll be, if it's an evening game, which is what I'm hoping for, I'll be leaving here about 5 o'clock on Saturday morning, and I'll be there in plenty of time.
It'll be a great postseason and a great sale.
Yeah,
Thank you, Bob.
My pleasure. Thank you. Thank you.
If you want to be part of the excitement, but you can't make it to Kentucky, no worries. You can always watch online or even bid online at lexingtonselected.com. And of course, every day for Harness Racing Update, we will have a full coverage of the sale. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Heather Vitale for HRU, and happy bidding.